So evil. Yes. Yes, masters. He shall be thwarted, and we shall prosper. Whoa, please. Go.
Kirk, what are you doing?
It's a new show we're working on.
We're doing a new show?
It's in the evening. It's called Evenings. Kirk and Murray.
Am I in it?
Of course.
It's with the,
Devil worship.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Evenings with Kirk and Murray. I'm Kirk.
Hi.
And that's Murray. Sponsored by Miller Lite, everybody. We got the good shit.
Have we started?
I think I'm going to start with that.
Have we started?
That was an okay.
Started?
Okay intro, right?
Yeah, sure.
We'll do a number. This is a new podcast under the other guy's banner. This is called Evenings, and then it's normally with Kirk and Murray, but we could license it out to other people. So the heading is Evenings.
That's the working title. Our working title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Let us know if you like it or if you don't like it. If you don't like it, fuck off. But
text 500 for Kirk and Murray if you like. If you don't like us, don't just fuck off. Just don't text anything.
There we go.
And this episode was brought to you by the smooth, refreshing taste of
beer,
Miller Lite.
Oh, nice.
It's a
free plug.
It's a preemptive.
There's a nice
product
plug
placement
for them. So this, as you can see, this is a little different setup than what we did. You already say this?
No, I don't think I said this. It's a different
than what we normally do because why not? And
there's a reason. I don't know if we're going to discuss why this is different today, because somebody might be listening who would want to know why we're doing this.
Let's go into that later. Let's just get accustomed to this scene and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
So you leading us here?
Yeah. I guess I feel like I always sit back and wait for someone to make mistakes. And that's when I really just pounce in there, but he's not here today.
Well, we just felt like doing a podcast, and we felt like changing it up.
So cheers to the Toronto Raptors.
The Toronto Raptors, yeah.
I got a Kawhi Leonard crown on the street. It was like a Burger King crown, so I was confused. They were giving away New Balance near like the Scotiabank.
Shoes?
No, the shoe company, yeah. I guess Kawhi Leonard is sponsored by...
yeah, he's got to deal with them.
So he's a New Balance guy. Same here. I wear New Balance to work, but different types, not basketball shoes. It's the ones to support your arches, baby.
Weren't New Balance shoes for like elderly people?
Yeah.
Like when they started?
Kind of. They're like old man walking shoes.
Oh, no. I've had a couple pairs of New Balance bought for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're all right. I mean, I think they've expanded into decent shoes.
Yeah, it's like Under Armour. Used to be just like workout shoes, and then they made Steph Curry shoes, and it was kind of like, now we're basketball company.
But they were clothes, weren't they? They started in clothes.
Yeah, they started that way.
I remember like getting hockey, like not underwear, but like
the base layer stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the base layer. Like instead of a T-shirt, you wear like an Under Armour. And then I found I didn't like it. It was too tight, so I always just went back to a T-shirt. But yeah, you could get shit to go under.
That's why it was like your Under Armour. I was always confused because it said heat gear and cold gear. And heat is not to keep you warm. It's for when it's hot. And cold is to keep you warmer when it's cold. So it was confusing to me.
So you would potentially throw on stuff that would overheat you.
No, yeah.
or
yeah.
things that would not keep the heat in.
It's like, it's just supposed to be cold, but it's really hot.
Piece of shit.
Like, it's just my mentality. If something says it's cool, like menthol cigarettes are cool, I'd be like, they're
so
cooling.
refreshing.
They're cooling, you know?
So
or like
refreshing.
if something says in the word cool, I'm like, it's probably got minty or it's fresh or it's cool, right? But like, and it's hot, spicy. It's going to be warm. So they got that backwards, I think, still. They could work on that.
You heard it from Kirk. Now get it right.
Yeah. Oh,
Stop screwing around. Think about how many more people you could have wearing your stuff that aren't athletes. I mean, that's who that realistically, are the athletes working out as a sponsor or spokespeople?
You need people who take you very literal in your marketing and your products. Like cool means
That's
cool and hot means hot.
The homeless would be a good test audience for that, I think.
The homeless, otherwise known as...
They're in the hot, they're in the cold.
Yeah, they're extreme campers.
They're extreme livers.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This has been camping for a long time.
But yeah, if they could make it work, sign me up. Not to be with them, but you know what? The gear. If the gear can survive what they're going through, it could probably work for me for 60 minutes.
I would
doing
think
an activity.
If they ever have one of those inflatable balls that you could just ride to work in it, that would be fun.
Like a hamster ball.
Yeah, I've seen those, but they look kind of like they're...
Don't they do those on water? Oh, what do they call them? I've seen them.
There's like some you can just stand in, but some you can be completely inside of.
Water,
right?
Yeah, and they put water in them.
Yeah, I guess. No, yeah, it's just there's all different types of those balls, but I think if they made it like a serious transportation method, it'd be pretty fun. Only if you live downhill from somewhere, then getting up would be hard.
Would be dying.
Yeah,
somebody would ruin it for us.
Yeah. There'd be that one guy. They're like, "Oh, now these things need seatbelts, and you got to get a driver's license for this ball. You need a license and insurance and blah blah blah."
People, you know what it is. You watch hamsters for fucking 12 hours. Mm-hmm. See how great they are. See what they're doing.
Yeah, they got it. They understand what they're up to.
Nothing like a nice beer, after a long day
and a nice candlelight in front of the globe. Can you believe we got the globe to make an appearance tonight, Murray? Like the whole world right there.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Africa. Mm-hmm. Here's something for you since I see Africa here. And, I can't find it right now. But would you climb...
Kilimanjaro?
Of course, yeah.
No.
Why not?
I'm not very physically fit, and I think I give up kind of early.
You might die. No, I might die too.
I don't have a lot of upper body strength. I have lower body strength.
You don't need any. It's a hike.
Oh, it's a hike. Oh.
You actually could walk. You walk up it. Like you don't climb. It's not mountaineering, everybody. You could do it, and it's only like 5,800 meters or something nonsense. It's still high. Don't get me wrong, but it's the highest point in Africa. It's one of the 7 summits.
7 summits.
Just so you know.
And the 7 seas.
But yeah, no, it's doable. But would you do it? Like if you were physically able and had the money?
Sure.
I guess at that
now,
point, why not, right?
If I get to punch a monkey on the way up, it would be even better.
You probably punch a tour guide maybe, but...
There is a thing in Nepal.
Or another tourist.
What's the big one? Like Everest, right?
No, it is Mount Everest. Yeah, it's in Nepal, yeah.
Because there was like this thing on the news that like people are starting to die more because they're letting too many people climb, and they're waiting in like a line, like the grocery store, but it's on a dangerous mountain instead of it being like, safe. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to wait. And then you only have so much time before your body just gives out.
Yeah, it's acute altitude sickness, right? That kicks in because you're not, you got to get the fuck down.
Like people aren't supposed to be up there.
Well, and they rush because they only get like good weather for so long. So it's like, let's go. And then, they've hit some fucking, guy who's having trouble and they got to wait.
Yeah.
And then now you have a problem, right? You got a traffic jam in some dangerous conditions. And see, that I wouldn't do because that seems like fucking like base camp is like 6,000 meters above sea level. Like that's higher than Kilimanjaro's total climb. Right. So I feel that just doing that Good for you.
So what
Everest Base Camp, call it a day, be safe.
So are you willing? What's the highest mountain you're willing to climb?
Blue Mountain. No.
That's hard though. I went up Blue Mountain and I was fucking tough in the summer. They're like, there's no snow here, but you can hike up the side of the mountain.
I'm not hiking up any mountain.
No, it's
the days of me going on foot up a mountain are long gone.
No, I never. That's when I really knew how out of shape I was for sure, because like it's harder than running to basically climb like as vertical as your body allows you without sliding down, you know? Because it was almost like going up. It was like these trails, but you had to like grab a tree and like pull yourself up.
Yeah, I've done a
and
few
you're
of
just
that.
like, and it's because the way your legs are moving, it's like pushing. You're running out of breath because it's like pushing it out, and it's like you just never feel like you've gotten your breath back.
We had a hill, not a mountain, like a fairly large hill, that we called Sober Hill when I was a teenager, where we drank. And basically if you couldn't get up the hill, if you couldn't figure a way up, there was an easy way to go, but like you made the person who's wasted, like you got to go up Sober Hill. If you couldn't get up, you were too drunk to go home. Because you get booked by your parents, right? So it'd be like, if you couldn't get up Sober Hill, then you need to chill for another half hour.
You need to
take a seat on the log over there. Anybody who is with me knows, Sober Hill.
When I was
We all
17,
fell. We all couldn't make it up at some
I
point.
couldn't see the green on Sober Hill. Sober Hill. That's like when I tried to I remember being somewhere up north I never been, and when I'm drunk my depth perception is worse. And so there was this big hill, but I didn't see it that way, but had one tree on the top of it. And I thought that's a great place to pee. But then my brother was watching me, he kept laughing because I was trying to get the hill and I kept rolling off of it. Like I try to get stable and pee, and then I would fall off and I would go back up again because I was determined to pee on this tree. But then he eventually said, yeah, just forget about it.
Yeah.
And you
just got to give up.
But I was really determined at first until I realized that what I was up against.
What's the saying? Try and try again, or try, and if you don't succeed,
fall down the hill once, shame on me. Fall down the hill 3 times.
No, basically you do it twice, but if you fail the second time,
try again.
You just stop, because nobody needs to be a damn fool.
Yeah, I think my determination when I'm drunk definitely changes. It's like it's like I become less capable of doing things, but more determined mentally to do them.
Yeah, I got you. It's just you can't. So we've learned that you're not going to climb that mountain. That's what we learned. I would do it, but no, not now.
Would you bring a selfie stick to take an optimal selfie in the Saharan Getty, or where's Kilimanjaro? I actually just made that up. I was like, it's somewhere up there. It's in the middle. Tanzania. That's a coastal. Isn't that coastal Africa? We could check. We could confer with our map here. Whereas you feel the bumps. There's some bumps there. I can tell which way. It's not in Chad. Tanzania, I think, is up here somewhere, right? Or this side? No, that's Ethiopia. Tanzania, right here. Tanzania, what does that say? This one right here. Geography, everybody.
Nah, man.
Look, there's ships there. Holy shit. They're still going. There's ships on the map. They're still trying to find the New World.
There are ships on this globe.
That's cool.
So anyways, what were we talking about? We were talking about the Raptors.
Yeah, are you a big fan?
So here's the thing. I used to be a very big basketball fan. Probably on the same, because they got the team, man. I was, I was part of the whole, and before we had the team, I was watching, Michael Jordan with the Bulls. Mm-hmm. And the NBA was big, right? Before we even had a team here, to my generation, probably yours too. And then we got the team and it was great. And then we were shit. Mm-hmm. And then Vinsanity came.
Yeah.
Vince Carter, right? Yeah. And I remember, man.
I think we had Tracy McGrady, but they didn't really overlap for too long either, though.
No, he left a year or 2 years. Mm-hmm. But no, Vince Carter, that was a big day, or that was a big few years. And then I remember they made the playoffs, and I was going to bars and reserving tables with buddies. And we lost, and that was disappointing. And then we kind of were mediocre for a long time, and we couldn't get there. And and then Vince Carter screwed us over, and Chris Bosh ended up leaving. Nobody really wanted, like, it was like we couldn't get there. And then and now we're having a good year.
And then who stepped in to make Toronto more relevant again? Dare I say, Drizzy himself, the Drake, the courtside bandit, the guy who rubs shoulders with Nick Nurse. Cheers to Drake, everybody. I mean,
he's there. He's there. He's trolling.
I think, in a way, he is bringing more legitimacy to Toronto basketball in his own way.
He is.
I didn't know that the Raptors
I think he needs
played.
To chill though. You know, he's trying to.
I forgot the Raptors played in the Sky Dome. Did you for like their first few years, right?
They did for the first 4 years, I think.
I can't even imagine what that would be like because it's such a like. I get football, like outdoor sports, like baseball. They're really the way they set that up, and like I've seen how like the gears work in the stadium. Like they turn the stadium basically to make it a square.
I never went for a basketball game. I don't think. I don't remember. I've seen pictures. Mm-hmm. You couldn't tell watching on TV from what I remember because the way they did it, but it was bizarre. Mm-hmm. But I have been there for, I can't remember what they call it, for a concert.
You can't be good times all the time, but when it's Miller time, it's a guaranteed good time. Miller. Cheers. Let's go Raptors. And we're back with the Other Guys podcast featuring, we're the evening, right? Or is it evenings? Evenings with Kirk and Murray.
Evenings.
Evening.
The evening? Evening? Evenings.
I see it being like in font that's like made from a neon sign.
Evenings.
It's like maybe a Huey Lewis record called Evenings. I think that's what this whole thing
funny.
would be. Yeah.
All right, so evenings.
And there'd be a pool table.
Evenings with Kirk and Murray. There we go. We had to take a break. We had to get some power plugged in. Mm-hmm. So what were we talking about here? I know that we talked about the Raptors. Mm-hmm. And I mean, people don't really care maybe about sports, but I mean, the Blue Jays are shit, not getting any love.
Yeah.
And while I just said that, I got to say, how do you feel about them?
Blue Jays?
Briefly, we could talk about them for a second here.
I'm legally binded not to talk too much about them. I am their designated hitter.
Oh, right.
The DH actually in my.
All right, so I can talk about them. So
I can talk about. I just don't want to get too in depth.
I like the team. I'm a baseball guy, and I gotta tell you, I'm totally cool. And if anybody out there knows baseball, I know a few people watch this that do. I'm cool losing for a few years while we get good, or bring up prospects. Right? I'm totally cool with that. I get it. You got to do that as part of the process and a rebuild. Here's the thing: management. I do not like the new president. Mm. The GM, I don't really have a problem with. He seems like an alright guy. I think he's just happy to have his job. And his buddy got him the job. Who's the president? This Shapiro guy.
It's weird that he calls himself Shapiro.
Because that's just his family name, so it's not his fault.
Well, I always just think of the guy from Seinfeld as Shapiro.
Yeah.
But like
everybody thought it was Shapiro, but it's Shapiro.
Yeah.
True. You're building a loser right now. Admit it. Don't pretend you're not. Mm-hmm. You got a shit product. You're garbage right now. They don't say it. They don't want to say, it's going to be a rough year. Mm-hmm. And I respected the Maple Leafs for that when they did their rebuild, which kind of accelerated really fast. So it wasn't really a big rebuild, but they said pain is coming for the fans.
Yeah.
They admitted it. It's going to be rough for 3-4 years. You're not going to be happy. It's going to be we're going to have bad years.
They didn't say that some of the pain would be getting good, then still losing to Boston a bunch in the playoffs. So I don't know. That's other than that. Yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed being a Leafs fan the last 3 years. It's been great.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Even when they first got Babcock and they weren't good, it was still a change.
They were going the right way,
and it was like, oh, they're trying hard. They're
but
the whole
management is owning up to it.
Yeah,
they admitted it. These guys aren't. And that's not cool. You own up to your shit, and they're not. And then they're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, I think,
look what we did.
Well, the average person doesn't like. Every time I talked to, didn't understand how, like, the division in baseball that the Jays are, how it works. Like the 2 years that they were good was because Boston and New York weren't as good as they normally are.
Well, they were doing a bit of a rebuild, right?
Yeah,
and that's how it works.
That's how, and it's like they got the right time
we
to
were
ride
also
that.
Okay, those.
And we were great,
okay.
but like they chose the right time to be good. Because right now
they were good for 15 years, those teams, so they had to take a break, and we had to get good.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like now it's time we can do the same thing. It'll be that like kind of flow.
But teams like that, they immediately try to get good again. Like they maybe say, okay, 2 years, and we're gonna, and then they become middle, and then they're okay again, where the fans have something to cheer for. Where here, these guys, like, I'm pretty sure we're in for a rough ride for multiple years. Last year was a rough ride. This year is brutal. Like, we're bad. We're, like, setting records bad, and not the good kind of records. And next year's going to be fucking just as bad. So it's like, all right, I'm willing to give you a couple years, but, I mean, if nobody's going to the games, like, don't be surprised 14,000 people show up. But, I just miss Anthopoulos. And people don't know who he is. He's the general manager from before when we were good.
He's somewhere now, like Los Angeles.
He's
right?
fucking in charge of Atlanta. He went to LA for 2 years, and then now he's the GM of Atlanta. All right. So, Blue Jays suck. Leafs are okay. Raptors are in the championship. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know. We don't know from there. We hope for the best for all the teams here.
What else was on your agenda here? What else we got?
Well, I was thinking because I was downtown. I was downtown yesterday before the game started, and it made me think about an article I read about how Toronto is the fastest growing city in North America, and then that was the key word it wrote next sentence was like, and this is not necessarily a very good thing at all. And I was like, oh, yeah, because it was like just even feeling like that many people around you and like being on the subway all the time like I am, and it's like at peak hours, like everything is just too packed now. And it's like, and it's just getting worse because it sounds like people just keep coming. And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to know what you thought about that. I was like,
I fully agree. It's, here's my thing. Where is everybody working?
in building staff, people like live and work
like
there. Yeah.
Okay, I see buildings already there.
Mm-hmm.
Are they building more buildings for work? Because it seems like they're just building condos for people to live in.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they working?
I guess that's a really good point. Maybe
you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand, first of all, where people are getting the money to buy these things. There's only, like, I don't know. I guess people are sacrificing families in order to live in shoeboxes downtown. But, or they're torturing themselves and having a family and forcing them to live in shoeboxes downtown. I don't think we were meant to live like that. I think we were meant to, roam, let the Cadillac roam, which is your child, but not a dog, a lap dog, that,
Because there isn't a lot of, like, green space downtown. It's like the more people you put there, they're planning on building stuff, but everything is like an afterthought now of, like, everything else that comes with having all this amount of people living somewhere. And as someone who has to go downtown every day for my job, and it's like, I just don't see it getting any better. There's just like, they haven't figured it out. And I've always said, like, they need to build like a second Toronto. Just like some other...
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah. And just find, like, because there's no way around this. There's no way they can build transit or anything to, like, fast enough to keep up with this.
Well, the buildings are there now. So, like, knocking out buildings is hard to, like, make things more efficient, widen roads.
Or drill something underground. Yeah, it's all bad.
Subways are very expensive, and tunnels for cars are very expensive. So, yeah, we're kind of screwed. And it's like, I don't understand why, like, I know they did a whole double density thing where, like, you know, basically they're cramming everything in everywhere, right? And I don't understand why everybody wants condos.
Well, I think it's like people who are younger.
No,
like they're not like quite at family age people, and they're professionals, and they think like being downtown is going to be beneficial for like being close to everything. Like, 'cause you're like, if you're younger and you're like a professional and you're living close to your work, where all the bars are,
like a lot, like I know some, you know, urban professionals that are downtown office workers, and okay, I get it, and they pay a lot of rent and they go to work and shit like that. But then there's a lot of people that like they don't do that. Like, they could live anywhere and they could do their job anywhere. They could move to fucking, you know, Nova Scotia and do their job, but they choose to live downtown, and it's like,
yeah, a lot of people are like nowadays, like
that's
they're
a weird choice in my mind, you know, like why be with everybody, you know? It's, I don't know.
Well, if your job's like in design or something, or you can do it mostly from home, a lot of people do like that kind of stuff too, and they probably want to live downtown because they might think, oh, culturally I'm close to all the action or something. But I keep hearing from people who are like, who've lived in those areas, and they really can't wait to get out. Because they're just like, it's shit after a while being like close to all this stuff going on. It's noisy. It's like, there's no escape.
I'm not downtown. And like, but I'm not far from downtown. But now, like, it's like downtown. Like, it's always busy. So it's like, I gotta move further next time. But
living in High Park is like weird because when I first moved here only like 2 years ago, it seemed pretty chill. And all of a sudden, more and more buildings are going up. And like everything gets busier.
It's not the worst. It's the condos.
And then it's like more and more. You can see every time.
But the city likes it because the more people you ram, the more property tax they claim, right?
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. I'm not a big fan of it, and I gotta say, I said it the last time I was on. I used to work right downtown and used to do that rat race to go down and work and everything, and fucking all the people everywhere, and stuck in traffic for an hour to drive 18 kilometers, you know, and people out there like, what? And I don't work downtown anymore, and my drive's about 35 minutes, and I drive, and it's great. I work out of town. And I go to work, and there's fucking just nobody around. Like, it's an office building. I work in an office. But it's so nice to not be downtown. Like, it's weird. Yeah. It's so good. Well, and people just don't understand. Like, people don't get it. Like when I tell them, I'm like, it's like working downtown, but calm. And you're not sucking fumes, and like, there's no crazy people, and you know, like, it's just great. It's great.
Yeah.
You know,
I was talking to someone today about because they were driving, and I'm like, I couldn't be in this traffic. They went the wrong way, and they're just stuck in terrible traffic. And I was like,
and it takes 20 minutes to get back to where you're going.
Yeah, and then it's like, then you find the way you wanted to go. You can't turn left.
Yeah. Oh, one
that
way.
Kind of shit.
Or no left. Yeah.
No lefts here on Bremner or whatever, right? And then, and I was just telling them like, oh yeah, when I used to drive my mom's, or like she gave me a car or to use when I was going to work when I was in Sarnia, and it was like the only time I ever had to stop was stoplights. It was like the 2 stoplights I hit on the way to work. I would jump on the highway, and there'd be nobody in front of me. It was dead, always dead. And every time it was the only time I ever had to worry about slowing down was there was never anything close to like traffic.
Yeah. No,
so like for me, I'm like, I don't think I was just so spoiled that way growing up. I don't think I have the temperament to put up with like a traffic jam for like an hour.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, an hour's a long traffic jam. But even, like if your travel is an hour and it should only take 25 minutes, yeah, that sucks because it's a 30 extra minutes of jam. That's stressful. You know, people say, no, it is. It's like a known. There's a document, like they actually classify it as stress, and it's nice not having that. Although I drive roughly the same amount of time, maybe a little less actually now, but I travel further, a lot further. But so I use more gas, more mileage on my car. But it's just a lot, and there is some jams along the way. You know, not every day smooth sailing, but it's just less stress, man. You know, I put the music on or a podcast, and I
Yeah,
just
it's
drive, for a little bit, and I'm good. Like
it's like gives you that moment for like yourself time to like. Because like it's nice to drive and not have to think about like every little detail.
That's true, and also
Like-
you know what? It could be my company.
Oh, this is like a better work environment.
Oh yeah.
Because you're happy going there. You're like not thinking about fuck when I get there too.
Drive in. And like I wake up, I check my emails on my phone. They gave me a phone, and like I drive in, and like I'm good. I know what my job. Like I know I get there, and like sometimes I get a message or an email outside of those hours, but it's not the same. It's not. I'm not like driving there like in a panic, going like oh my god, boss is freaking out about fucking Cheerios. Like
Yeah.
the milk.
I gotta go deal with this.
The milk. Yeah, I'm like 2 minutes away getting blasted, like, no. Nobody should live like that. Also, the way people are living now, I don't think humans, man, like the city's fast growing and that's great. And I understand people like the odds and numbers, right? Like, or the survival in numbers thing, big cities. I don't think we were meant to live. Like, I think we found the sweet spot a little while ago, and now we're starting to become like the cockroaches. Like we're overpopulating a region.
It's too easy.
Or rats. Like
It's like we're a plague because it's like we've been like everything is take all the things that were like the blockades to the strong survive have all been like lowered, right? So like everything is possible now. Like there's it's nothing is
it's space. It's just regions have gone overpopulated, like you said, fastest growing city, and is that a good thing? I don't think it is, because I think that you're getting a lot more crap in there.
Right.
Like everything, right? Bigger numbers of everything.
Well, it's misleading to come like a city like Toronto. Like I've only lived in like where I'm from and here. Like when I was 21, I went to school here, and pretty much from then, I kind of thought this is where I want to be. I like the city, and I like kind of like the scenes in the city and stuff that I was a part of. But like the more you take transit, and the more you kind of think like there's other places. It's just weird that everybody comes here, right?
I get it. A lot's going on here. A lot of jobs are here. Education's here, good healthcare, whatever, good doctors, transit, But this is a bigger thing for me. And I've said it before. I get fired up about it, man, because I don't think humans were meant to live like this. I don't like. I mean, I get you got to work and you got to provide and you got but like people, it's slavery, man. Like in a way, like society has changed. It's not a race enslaved. It's an entire civilization. Right? Like, it's just house prices are crazy. And I'm like, I don't know how people are paying for these things. Like, rent, man. Rent in a suburban house. A house. $3,500 a month.
Yeah.
$3,500 a month in a suburban neighborhood for a bungalow house. Who's paying for that? So you basically defeat the purpose of shacking up with somebody. If you're, whatever rent's going to be, each person has to pay, basically $2,000 almost just to live in the house before hydro, before all this other stuff, before you eat, before you have cars. Who, for that money, buy a house?
Yeah.
It's it's boggling my mind. And people, like I talk to people and they're just like, I'm going to have kids. And those kids are going to go to daycare as soon as humanly possible. They'll raise them in the evenings.
Evenings with Kirk and Murray. We'll raise your kids. Put your kids in front of the TV and we'll talk to them. How you doing? So your dad's at work. It's okay. You got Kirk and Murray. Kirk and Murray in the evening. I'll
tell you what drawer you want to look in. So
top drawer, always top drawer.
So yeah, that's my thing, man. Is just like fuck. Like people are just. I don't think we were meant for this. Like, and I think that's why like people are mentally not right now. Like everybody's got problems. Like it's just The world is just built to stress.
It's
And
almost like you're built to fail more than ever. There used to be like an ideology: if you did these things, then you would own
yes.
this and do that.
Well,
and
the world is built to give you very little. You'd be satisfied with a very average life, right? But like that's the thing is that some people, and there's a fair number that they're lucky, that like people like all these people with houses. Not a lot of people, like they say the market's up and people are buying. Sure they are, but a lot of them are speculators investing and whatever and whatnot. But a lot of these people that afforded houses bought them 10 years ago or, like before it really, really took off. And it's like, so now it's like, fuck, I don't understand how people are doing this. So what jobs do these people have that are enabling them to buy this property? Unless it's old money coming from family, which is gifted to them so they can own property for money, right? Which is fine. I'm not hating on that. I get that. But they're getting it because those other people bought these houses super cheap. And they made all this money, But people, I bought the house for $59,000 in 1969.
Yeah, I've noticed
and
this.
That same house is worth $950,000 today, and it's like, damn. All right, well,
I've noticed this neighborhood. The thing is being that like people are like, it seems like they're just really renovating the shit of the older houses in Hyde Park. And because I just noticed because some of them look a certain way, and then you look at some closer and you'll go, holy shit, that's like a whole new house, like a new house. And it's like, and some of them are just full on just tearing down the thing and building a brand new modern house.
We're in a different architecturally, we're in a different house building era, right? Like they figured out ways to build houses, but
you also can like hire people and they can like change the whole front of your house. My aunt did this in Etobicoke.
Oh yeah,
they had like that. What's that dude's company? The guy who was like the overall guy.
Homes on Homes.
Yeah, they had Homes on Homes company. I don't know. I didn't know he was even Canadian. I didn't know that. But I guess they got his company.
A friend of mine's house was on his show. Yeah.
Yeah. So they got his company to come and just like, and he didn't like. I guess they just refaced the front of their house. So now it looks like a totally nicer, newer house, but it structurally it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you can even do that. You can even make your house look kind of like different from the outside.
I don't know. I'm at a loss. Maybe I'm just old school. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just
just an old school kind of guy.
Maybe I'm a little bit country.
It's a little bit rock and roll here.
Maybe a little bit rock and roll.
I don't know if I'll ever own a place. I've thought about this apartment. Like, what would it cost to like own this as like a condo or something, like or something like this?
Well, no, it's something.
I think
a lot.
My thing would be like I gotta find something like out of the way or like luck out and find something really.
No, you can't. So solo is not an option. It's got to be. You got to do it. Like that's the thing is that financially, it's always built that you can't do it alone. You got to do it with a double, with some help. In a way, right? But you used to be able to curb that. Like, oh, mom stays home, looks after the kids. You don't have daycare costs. You can save money, right? And you can save money and bank it. But now, no, you can't. You can't.
Can I jump in and say who the problem is? Who's my problem from before? It's all China. It's just China. No, that's somewhat true. That sounds whatever. But
what about yurts? Can we build yurts?
What's a yurt? Does that sound like?
That's like that mobile, like you set it up and it's like a house, but it's like a big circle.
Oh, okay.
And it's like built on a platform made out of wood with like a roof.
Is that like Dutch or something?
Sounds like what it could be.
It
like
sounds
Swedish
Dutch.
or
It
Dutch.
sounds like
Norwegian of some sort.
It sounds Western European.
If anybody knows where yurts come from, I'm not going to Google it.
It comes from IKEA, apparently. No, I don't know.
It sounds. You know what? Fuck. It sounds like an IKEA.
Go buy your yurts from IKEA, everybody. Sponsored by the Evenings podcast. Yeah, that would be cool.
I'll yurt you.
Or like the other idea I think I've always talked about as a joke was living in a shipping container and then getting myself shipped around the world and living in an apartment that's similar to like that Ben Affleck thing in The Accountant when he's like living, has like all his stuff stored in a shipping container so it's not marked and you can move it and stuff.
You can just ship it.
Yeah, I could ship myself all around the world and just like live for a week in like, somewhere.
People are using shipping containers now as expansions to their house.
Yeah, no, people buy them. Like I've seen things in like Hawaii where they're like people want to live in the jungle there or whatever, and like in certain coastal areas where there's not really populated.
Yeah.
They buy those. It's easy to move it in, right?
Yeah,
and then they
tiny
just build
home
it.
people are doing it, and they're like, well, if you put two of them together, and you get like two, and they're pretty long, you can have big ones, and they're like, it's as big as a living room, and they're like, you got more than a living room, and if you put, you got a house. I'm like, shit, you do have a house.
Yeah, and people in
They're
Japan
like,
are
knock
really
the walls down, and
people in Japan
cut
are really
them
into
out.
that sort of tiny space too. They found all these ways to like.
they're also into killing themselves in a forest, Kirk.
Oh, you went there. I know.
What's with those the little men that they get out of the vending machines? Have you seen these?
Pokemon?
No. So it's like that, but like here you go to the grocery store, or whatever.
Oh,
you
they
put
have
a-
those like
you
in
put
the circle, like those action figures.
Like you get a bubble gum for 25 cents, or you get a little toy for $1 or 50 cents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they in Japan, they have these things and they like these things, but you can get them and it's like fucking, it's like depressed people.
Well, the figures are depressed.
Yeah, have you seen these?
Maybe it's like how
Where
someone
like you get the guy, you pop him out of the little egg, and you look at him, and it's like a guy in a business suit sitting on a bench, like.
Maybe it's to make themselves thankful for their more
I don't know,
fortunate
like, the
situation.
fuck is it?
Either they can identify with this guy, or it makes them feel thankful they're not depressed, or it's just getting them closer to going in that forest.
What's also okay? So while we're on Japan, where
Japan, you're getting roasted.
This is where we can actually use Special K tonight. Is what okay? So like their adult videos, they blur out.
Because it's the law. Apparently, I looked into this because I was.
Well, they show they show everything else, but then like they don't show
the naughty bits, the genitals. All right, it's just the penis and vagina, and maybe I don't know if the buttholes are in there too.
I don't think they're cool with that.
The butthole is open.
I think it's pubic hair. They're like against.
No,
pubic hair.
it's just it's apparently it's the genitals, and it's because if it's produced there and it's sold there, it has to be done that way because it's the law. There's some sort of decency law that like you can make pornography, you just can't show the genitals, so they're blurred out. I looked this up because I was very curious. As I was like, I made that dumb joke where like, I guess that's what they look like, like they got blurred out genitals. And it's like but no, apparently not. It's just
that looks weird.
My favorite. It's like one of my searches in Pornhub is non-blurred Japanese porn. It's like so when you want to uncensored Japanese porn when you want to see what's actually happening. So
well, I
but
guess
you can't,
yeah, it must
but
be
that
there,
stuff
but
that
I
you
mean,
couldn't
if they make it
sell
censored.
that. That's the thing is like they do that
How
there.
do they unblur it?
Oh, I don't know. I think it starts out unblurred.
But who's blurring it?
Oh, some asshole.
So who's selling the unblurred version?
Yeah. It's like the editor. He does both.
He's
And
doing side money. Yeah.
He's like, I sell this to everywhere else. Everybody else in the world gets to see this, and then
some knockoff hack that couldn't make it in the movie business.
yeah, probably China gets it or something, and it goes from there. It's like, yeah, we're weird.
Yeah, China.
It's so weird because it's like, because Japanese porn gets pretty crazy, all things considered. It's like
Their food's pretty crazy.
It's like the genitals are the least offensive thing about some of their porn, right? Like it's like,
well, Japan is like they're over the top, right? They're very subdued people.
Like I watched,
and very like whoa.
Like I watched one where it was like a news lady and she's doing a newscast, and then a bunch of guys just randomly just keep coming on her. It's like a bukkake, but it's like in a sense where it was just like. It looked like at first like she's just doing a regular news broadcast for Japan, and I would have known otherwise. And I was like, "This is a weird movie." Until like a guy start coming into
Japanese
from like
people,
they start
right?
coming
and
into
probably
frame.
like so sorry.
Yeah, they're like arigato,
That's very good. Yeah, I don't know. But they do some weird stuff there.
To me, that's way creepier and weirder than just like showing some peens and some vages. Like why not? I bet it sounds like
I don't know, man.
It's like
I'm pretty sure I saw some kind of Japanese porno once where I'm like, all right, and then like they're out eating dinner, and I'm like, something's gonna happen, right? I'm waiting for it to happen. Like, the adult part of the video to start, and it was like they kept feeding her weird stuff, like, you know, fucking weird, like, fish and this and that. And then I realized this is the video. Like, the guy's getting off in the video about this chick eating it, and I'm sitting there going,
is it like this?
how did I end up watching this? This is ridiculous. This is.
No, they have another.
This isn't a porno movie. This is like, this is Friday Night at Montana's. You know what I mean?
This is like your buddy who wants to eat all-you-can-eat ribs.
His guy's girlfriend. You go there with a buddy, and you can spot him and be like, she's gonna take down that whole fucking rack of ribs. Watch.
And they're gonna get angry at the kitchen if
No,
they're
I
not bringing them
respect
fast
it. I
enough,
guess that's my allure. Or, you know, the husband's like, fucking fist bump. You did that. Good for you.
I'm
honey.
curious. So this reminds me of other videos I sometimes see on YouTube, and I wonder how the hell they're popular. But there's a thing called
on YouTube.
There's this thing called like a mukbang. It's not as bad as you think it is, but it's like
I don't know what that is.
Normally, it's a cute girl or a smaller person, and they have all this food, and they eat like 10,000 calories in one sitting.
Maybe that's what I saw.
It might have been that because it's kind of like, it's almost like
getting off on it.
No, it's like because it's also fetishized. When it's a cute woman, a lot of times it's like guys that kind of fetish it, like that those ASMR videos. How the woman might not be naked, but her just whispering and saying stuff like kind of like I love you, and then like that kind of stuff. It makes certain people really horny, but some people
Who the fuck's watching that?
Well, some people apparently would listen to that because it's calming. It's what I know people started as a therapy,
You know what's
then this men just found a way to get a boner off of it, you know. And I think it's the same with the eating thing, you know.
Hang on. So, guys want to hear girls whisper.
Yeah, it's like
into a microphone, like just whisper.
It's like whispering
Do
and
they
doing.
whisper are they talking dirty?
Not necessarily. No, like most of them, some of them can
like,
be, but guys.
Pick up laundry.
Like it's. I'll do an example. It's like
take out the garbage.
It's like, and they do things like this. They talk like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And it's like, "Bye."
I don't even
and
know what he's
like,
saying.
And they just like do that. They rub the microphone.
Well, if they're rubbing the mic,
and
so like it's sexually
and
charged.
They'll do like little sounds if they're brushing their hair, like little shh, shh, like that. And it's easy if you heard what I'm doing. And you can hear in the headphone for sure. But then guys listen to this, and it used to people used to do this because it was a therapy to calm people down, help them sleep and stuff. Because it's really relaxing. I would listen to it. And I'm
what
like,
happened to waves and rain and fucking?
But apparently, then it's just funny.
Or whatever, the stream and the running brook in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
what happened to that nonsense?
Your white noise machine.
I'm a white noise guy. I need to have a fan on.
I like that one. Lucy has a really funny.
You know what? I need white noise. I couldn't have that in the dark. Like I would be like,
yeah,
this is a horror movie.
I like the fan.
Somebody fucking
fans are good. Yeah,
that's a freak show. Freaks, you guys are freaks.
I like Lucy K's joke about the white noise machine. He's like, I have a white noise machine. It's a machine that helps white people sleep. It's like, it's true. Mostly white people use it. But yeah, no, the SMR is really weird because it wasn't intended that way. And same with the mukbang thing. I guess I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But I think it's just people just challenge themselves to like eat too much at once. And then, of course, somebody would get horny from it. You know?
I know that there's people out there that like, you know, get off on like, you know, smashing a fucking bunch of raspberries in your belly button and like, you know what I mean? Like put that on, zoom in on it and put that and like people will pay you money.
That's a making jam tonight.
People will pay you money and be like, get a blackberry in there. You know what I mean? And, oh yeah, blueberry.
Strawberry.
Or with their feet. I know that people like the feet smushing and stuff. Like, oh yeah, smush that bread up.
People like that. I bet they like
I'm not into
watching
that,
people.
But I know
wine.
people are, and they pay the people to do it, and that's like, all right. Like, I mean, I assume at a certain point it's going to turn into something else, but it doesn't. Apparently, like these people don't. They're not looking for, you know, the butthole or whatever. You know, like
no, it's weird how people have gone so far with their fetishes and stuff. It's almost to the point where like it's hard for.
It's probably good that it's out though, right?
They have the
like. There's an outlet now, and they're not just in like a dark basement or a dark room. All you know, like You know,
Yeah.
looking with the chloroform, like,
And-
I'm going to shove this in somebody's belly button.
It doesn't matter what you think is what you think about or what you like to do or any of that kind of stuff that makes you feel like you're a weirdo. Because for sure, because of the
We're all
internet,
fucking weirdos.
because of the internet, there's at least one other person, or probably not even just one, probably thousands of people who feel the same way. There was a whole thing. I watched a thing about how this guy was talking about how he pooped, and he said,
Why would you watch this?
No, it was just a random clip, and they were talking about how like people wipe,
skip
and then
it.
and the guy said apparently how he was wiping was he was catching it. He was wrapping his hand in toilet paper, and then catching the poop because he learned as a kid doing it himself, and so he just asked the other person like he was doing a show with. He's like, everyone does this, right? Like he assumed that was normal. That when you wipe your butt, you wrap your hand in toilet paper and you catch the poo on the thing. And the person had to tell them that no, that was really weird as shit. And that's what I mean. Some people, but then they were talking about the comments, and there were other people who do that. So it was like, wasn't even this guy just being weird. There's like, for every weird fucking thing, there's somebody who probably can agree with it. You know, that's all. I lost you there. Sorry.
Moving on.
off
Evenings with Kirk and Murray.
Off of Pooh Theater.
What else was there anything else on your list of adventures or agendas or things? Were there something? There was something we were talking about. No?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Like I think we had a good thing there with the fetish stuff, but we weren't like. But I can take a quick.
We think we had a good thing. With
We got fired up for a moment there. The sports talk kind of went dry a bit, but I think we had a good.
Well, sports, you know.
There's only so much. Oh, we're talking about movies. We could end on that. So, I guess we were both watching trailers and just these new movies that were once animated movies as when I was a kid.
Oh, right.
And I haven't actually seen too many of them, but some seem good and some just seem trash. Like the Aladdin one just came out.
So yeah, Disney
This weekend,
remaking all their animated movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what they did, Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm. They've done. I think they started with like Jungle Book.
Oh right,
Jungle Book. I heard that was actually good. They've done Dumbo and they've done
Dumbo
Beauty and the
failed.
Beast, and they did just recently Aladdin, and they're doing Lion King.
And Aladdin's out.
Because to me, it's like in Little Mermaid, they did something or doing something.
No, I
with
think
that.
they're doing it.
And there's been other ones that like are kind of like under the radar. They've kind of done, you could say, I guess. But wasn't there like a Snow White or something? Well, I don't know. There's been other ones, but then they're just like, I don't know. I thought like it was just going to be a few of them, and it's weird because it's like I thought it was more special these things happening when it was just going to be like the Jungle Book, which is a classic, but it'd be
Now
nice.
it's everything.
It'd be interesting to see that reimagined. It was interesting to see that reimagined, and then it started to become like one was popular, so then it had to be done across the board.
Beauty
And
and
like,
the Beast was popular.
and I was like, Beauty and the Beast. I don't understand this. I'm like, I wouldn't need to. It just looks like beat for beat the same exact thing.
Yeah, but people liked it.
Yeah, it was the
I
first
don't know.
openly gay character apparently in a Disney movie.
Of course it was.
Like Gaston's buddy, who apparently just. It makes sense. Like if my best,
Was he gay in the original?
he had some. He wasn't even really that gay in the live action one. They just said he would be a gay character, but it wasn't really open about it. It was just like one line that might have tipped him.
But was he gay in the original?
I don't think so.
So
He wasn't really. He had.
here's my
He might have
thing.
had inclinations because it was
I
like.
don't care about gay characters. Great. You're remaking an original movie. Remake the original movie. Don't insert agendas. It was written a certain way.
There was
it's from the time it was written.
There was a few
Just
winks though.
transport
It was here
to
and
the
there.
future.
You could tell he was all over Gaston. Like he was like, this guy's the hottest dude in the village.
Hubba hubba.
He's like, why doesn't Belle want to fuck you? I want to fuck you. You know, like you're so tall and handsome and like awesome, and I want to go to the woods and just make mistakes with you. You know, I feel like that you can tell
Here,
it's all.
drink this.
It's all in his eyes. You know, like he's just just waiting around. Be a rebound. You know.
I don't know. I'm not a Beauty and the Beast guy.
Well, the thing was though, is like you're saying.
I mean, I know the story.
Well, it
and
wasn't
I
even,
probably saw the animated movie.
In this case, I think it wasn't even like the writers or the people who made the movie. It was like an after the fact Disney thing. They're like, oh, that one line, maybe he's gay. And then so like in the press, it was like, first gay character. So they made it more of a it more of a thing after the fact. It wasn't really
inclusion, right? Inclusion.
No, it made sense. It's obviously you want to have representation, but yeah, like you're saying, it's original concept. So it's like it's already been done, and you're remaking something. So, but I mean,
if the character wasn't gay in the original. Why are you making him gay in this? That's all I don't understand. People say, well, it's a different time. And I'm like, well, then maybe make a different fucking movie. You know what I mean? Why go back if that's from the time, then it's obviously not good enough. Make a different fucking movie. You know? Yeah, so that bothers me. I mean, fuck. Like, one of the best movies, so, like, people are like, what, he doesn't like gay characters in movies now? I've said it before on this podcast. One of my favorite movies is As Good As It Gets. And that's a great movie because it shows... Yeah, and, like, Cuba Gooding and whatever. I guess it would have maybe been better now. Like, if they did that today, maybe you would get, like, legitimately... gay actors to play those roles rather than straight men
but also
playing gay characters.
Also, Hollywood still has a problem with people who are probably gay who just never come out because they'll think they'll ruin their career of being this sort of leading man.
Oh, like Kevin Spacey. Well, no, a lot of people just don't admit it.
Or John Travolta. Isn't he He's pretty gay?
Riding it right in, man. Kids, married, fucking... I think he'll just screw around with men.
Right.
You know, I think he's like, yeah, you know what? You're hot.
Here's a picture. Here's a picture of me from the 70s. Stuff, right? You see me in the 70s? I'm a pretty hot guy.
Kelly Swanson, right? That's Swinson, Kelly Preston. No, Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston, his wife. Yeah.
She
was
like good looking. She was good looking when she's still pretty good looking. You know, she's got to be pushing it now. But
she's mostly riding his fame at this point, so I'm sure she's just been kind of. Well, cool,
yeah, right? she had kids and kind of disappeared. But so
anyway,
so Aladdin, that's out.
Yeah,
and the original movie was pretty big, and I remember like the original movie. I liked it. I remember, like, I was pretty young when it came out. 92?
Yeah, it was 90, like around the early 90s, yeah.
It was good. Like, people loved it, right? It was big. The song in it, you know, it was... If you asked me to tell you, like, what happened in the movie, I barely remember it.
Oh, like, I could tell you.
So I can't really remember.
I know all this stuff because we used to watch our VHS tapes repetitively as kids because we didn't have TV. So Aladdin stars Robin Williams as the genie. So right there, they got the new one beat. I like Will Smith and all, but he's no Robin Williams.
Well, have you seen the new one?
No, I've just seen the trailers, and it's really funny how like. The CG is really fucked up.
All the reviews say he's the best part of the movie. They're like once you start watching them, they're like you actually like them. They're like you'll actually like to see them.
No, but like I think right now, like my thing is
one's a cartoon and one's not.
Well, not even the Will Smith thing is that I don't even care about the shit because I'm like I said, like it feels like when it was just like the Jungle Book or the idea when I heard the Lion King, I was like those are two ones that I wouldn't mind seeing because it's like I thought that sounds special the way they're doing it. But now it's across the board. Like every pretty much big movie we've had that we can translate this way, we will. And then I'm like, this isn't really interesting anymore. So I'm like,
if they were only going to remake one Disney movie, live action,
yeah,
what would it be for you? What would you like to see them do?
Sword in the Stone, Merlin, magic. Prince Arthur.
Haven't you had that though?
Arthur. I guess that would be.
You've had live action Merlin.
It'd be like Lord of the Rings or something.
You've had that. You've had. I think I've seen some live action stuff.
Or what about this? I guess Robin Hood. That's just the only gimmick with that. It's like animals versus real people.
They've made Robin Hood movies.
I just want to see like a stop animation or something of like that, like the
with the fox,
like the what's that the Wes Anderson movie with like the Mr. Fantastic Fox.
Yeah. That's
just make it like let him make that movie. That'd be funny. I guess Lion King would be it. When I've been most excited about since hearing Lion King after the Jungle Book was like I didn't see it, but it looked cool to me the way they made it. And then I was like when I heard Lion King, I'm like that would be the one that I would like to see because then. there's no. It would be easier to cast because it's just going to be CG anyway.
Well, it's voice.
Voice is voice still, and it's like still
there
similar.
Might be, no, there's no humans, right?
Yeah, there's no humans.
There's no humans
It's all animals in that movie that talk. So I think to me that makes more sense. So I'm like, oh yeah, I would like that. I would like to see. A lot of that would be cool to see, like the realism and how they would go about making it, and it would be.
Well, I saw the trailer and it looks great.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And even before I saw that trailer, I agree with you. For me, out of all the I'm thinking about like classic Disney movies that I can remember, and yeah, for me and for my generation, Lion King. Like I'm like. Yeah, if you can redo that, and see what's weird about it is it's still CGI. Like it's still
in a way
animated animation. Like it's just next level. It's but fuck, they made it. They're making it that those lions look real.
Yeah.
Like that little lion, like I already know I'm gonna care about that little lion. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, look at him, And I'm like, but I'm gonna care about him in a different way because now I'm gonna like in the cartoon, you look at him and you're like, oh, little lion, like okay, whatever, tell me the story. In this, people are gonna look at him and they're gonna fall for like, oh, he's so cute and cuddly, and there's gonna be this added layer of
realism, right? Or just kind of connection.
Emotional connection to these characters that. If you connected to the cartoon or the animated movie, you might really connect to these characters further, right? So
yeah,
I think that's what I'm looking for. I hope they nail it. Who did it?
Directed it? It's Jon
Somebody
Favreau,
big.
right?
Yeah,
Jon Favreau's done a lot of the good ones. I think he's done the best. Like he did Jungle Book, and he did he's doing Lion King, and then there's another one. I think
he did Avengers. So.
Poppy. His name's Poppy. In like the Avengers. He's like the butler. Yeah, Happy. Sorry, I was like, why don't call him?
Yeah, no. But Avengers was really good. He did a good job. But I'm fine with him doing it, helming it. I'm sure there's people out there that want to see like The Little Mermaid.
Right.
And they should do it.
I like a lot of those movies. It's like hard to even, you're talking about like, what's your favorite? My like real favorite is, I don't know if you've seen The Rescuers Down Under. It's the sequel to The Rescuers, but
that'd be hard to do.
It's a great one. It's really funny
the mice,
too.
Right?
The mice, and they go to Australia.
Yeah.
And it's good.
That'd be hard to do.
And
but they could do it now.
But it's also, there's a bird in the movie which I don't think exists ever. It's like a fake. It's like a giant bird.
They made up a fake bird.
Because I didn't realize when I was a kid that didn't exist.
It's like a bird.
It's like a bird the size of like when they catch it in the thing. Maybe you never see it the right perspective of what you would see in real life, but it looks like it would be bigger than like an albatross. Like an albatross is pretty big, right? It looks like
there's like, what is it? The golden albatross or something is the biggest bird on the planet. There's two that are big.
Yeah, so in the movie, I think that's what it's supposed to be because it's gold. It's got gold feathers, so it's like it's supposed to represent that. But maybe you can always see from the mouse perspective and not too many times from the human. But one time, I swear, the human is riding the bird. There's like a boy in it named Cody. It's an
animated movie, Kirk.
But then, like in every other movie, they kind of like get the animals to scale.
What about the movie itself? What are the mice doing?
They're rescuing kids.
They're not getting the movie to scale.
No. No, I'm just saying that to me, I believe that there was this giant bird for it because in the movie it seems so real. Not like it's a cartoon, but they draw it in a way where I'm like, oh, in real life, I'm sure in Australia that bird exists.
Do you know what? Speaking about just movies that I'd like to see them maybe redo or kind of a spin on it, what about like Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Now that they could do like pretty cool stuff, like maybe not that movie.
Like something like it though, like a mix of animation. Or what about like
remember they made a couple, like I think Be Cool, or there was something Brad Pitt was in one. And Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Or but
they're coming. Like I'd love to see a live action Mickey Mouse, right? Like I think that would be so cool.
What about the idea of animation? What about the idea of like a Pixar doing a cross blend, like with their animation, making a character from their universe exist in our real world?
Well, I thought they did with Toy Story.
No, there's always people, but they're animated though. I'm saying like make like a Toy Story kind of like thing,
yeah.
and then somehow like you're saying Roger
I
Rabbit
think
have
the
those.
close. No, they did.
They did.
They did. Well, they kind of did. Wall-E.
Oh yeah, they were kind of realistic, but they
No,
were.
the people weren't. They were animated,
But
the
they were-
video.
There was video in there.
There was video of that guy, Fred, where he's like talking to telling him what the problem was, and that was like a real person, like a real video, right?
Oh.
So there was a human. There was a human.
Yeah.
But
I just
you're
think-
right. But
I'm
that would've
saying
been a
like
great
more of a
movie.
fun kind of movie where these
You could've
like
done
what if
that. That
like
would've been
there's
good.
like a Roger Rabbit type movie where there is a town like or a world where these kind of combine somehow.
They
Like
could
all
do-
the
yeah,
like and they bring back
Monsters-
all the
Monsters,
characters.
Inc. You could do.
Yeah, they bring back like all the characters. Kind of like there's that game people like that's like Disney and like Square Enix. It's like the RPG. It's like Kingdom Hearts, where it's like they combine kind of like a realistic kind of like Final
With
Fantasy guy with like
cartoon,
the
yeah.
cartoons. I think you could do that
Well,
where
what
you could like
about-
take all of Pixar's back
You know
catalog
a movie
of
they could have
characters.
done, and it probably they could do it again, and it would win all the Oscars again because they won all the animated Oscars before. Up,
Yeah.
because like that's a human with the dogs and like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
with the house and the balloons.
And the most you've ever
You could
cried
do
for a
that.
cartoon before.
You could do it. Like
Yeah.
you could you could turn that into like live action.
Uh-huh.
Legit, and have like the human be the guy and like have that whole adventure. And it'd probably be pretty fucking good if they did it.
Would
Or
you-
if they
would you
did,
cry-
like Lion King style?
Would you
and, like-
cry more or less in a live action Up? Like in the beginning, how his wife dies. You think?
Yeah, it was sad.
It was really like it was.
That was a sad time.
But also, it's
man.
like it hits you right off the bat. And I feel like if you sat down a kid,
when I first saw that movie, because when did it come out? It came out like 10 years ago.
yeah, it's been up for a while.
So I was
since-
older, and I was like, it's more of an adult movie. Like, no, I saw I'm like, it's got to be more of an adult movie. It's an old man who what kids movies stars an old man?
yeah.
And I'm like, not many, but they were making hits, so you got to trust them. And I'm like, yeah, they nailed it, but yeah, when they hit you with all that right off the bat, you're like depressed, and I'm like, if
It
they
can
kill the
only
old
go
man,
up from
I'm like,
here.
if they kill the old man, I'm gonna hate this movie. I'm like, I will hate this movie. So luckily,
I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs down.
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have been like, don't ever see that movie because it's depressing. But luckily, they didn't,
Can I tell you?
and it had a happy ending.
Can I tell you an
So,
idea I had today? I wrote down for a
thumbs
movie.
up.
This is my new movie pitch. I'll let me know what you think about this. It's like the best way I can describe it is the comedy version of Roadhouse, but it takes place in like a sports stadium that's known for being over the top fans, like the worst fans.
Like Running Man fans, like the movie Running Man.
I guess maybe, but they're just like it's a professional sports like a baseball stadium where they have like notoriously the worst out of control fans who like to run on the field,
Oh, okay.
cause trouble.
What's
and so
the idea
like
of this movie?
it's like Roadhouse. He's brought into this like you're the best in the business,
Yeah.
right?
He's there to calm it down.
And this is the same guy, same sort of guy, but in a comedy situation is brought into this like
Well, it's Patrick Swayze. He died.
well. Yeah, maybe me though. No, or someone like I'd be like find someone.
I
who's-
could do it.
You'd be maybe Murray. You'd be in the movie. You'd be the guy,
I
and
could
I'll
do
be
it.
like the
I figure
ramshackle.
I'd be his buddy. I'd be the old, you know, that guy, his buddy who comes in.
Yeah. How you doing, Sam
I'm more
Elliott?
Sam Elliott.
How you doing
Sam
there?
Elliott. I'm just getting to my Sam Elliott years.
Just like mumbly.
He's great. I love him.
But then
he's good in the ranch.
So that's my idea basically. That the base level is like take them out of the bar setting, put them into a stadium where there's like crazy fans, and people that run on the field naked or whatever. And
Wasn't there a Roadhouse 2 starring like a Baldwin brother?
yeah, there was a bad Roadhouse.
I don't know.
No, there was a Roadhouse sequel that was really terrible.
Was there?
I didn't see it though.
Oh shit.
It was straight to video, I think. So rest in peace, Roadhouse.
Really? Yeah. Like fuck. He made some good movies.
Mm.
That guy. You know, a movie I admit I like, and a lot of people don't like it,
Is Ghost?
is Ghost. Yeah, I was gonna say Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie.
I don't mind it
That movie's all right. It also kind of depresses you a little bit, right? And you feel for him
because
You
he
feel
never
for him.
he
You're
never
like,
not
because his
dies.
friend's such a prick, and you're like, you motherfucker, like,
He stays a ghost the whole time. He doesn't come back to life, right?
No, he's dead. Like this
There's no-
it was basically
Okay, because I've never seen the ending. It's just basically kind of like.
yeah, no, he's dead. Man.
No, I wasn't sure if like it's one of those where like you get your body back. You know,
he
like
gets to go to heaven.
oh heaven. Because there was that one. Remember that Chris Rock movie? It was called Down to Earth, and he's not supposed to die, so then he gets to like have.
He lives in the other guy's
he
body.
lives in a loner body, but then he could have just died, right?
But then at the end, he loses all his memories.
And he somehow gets put back in.
Because it's not about your memories; it's about your soul.
Yeah, apparently.
Chaz so I remember watching that. I'm like, so wait, he's gonna, but he ends up with the girl. Mm-hmm. He ends up with the girl that he wanted to be with.
But then he
loses all his memories, I think, and
or something. Like he gets a reset. It's like he gets to reset the whole thing, and then they put him back to where he was. So he didn't remember the happenings. So then he didn't learn anything. And his character is supposed to learn. I don't know. I forgot that movie.
I can't remember.
I've at least watched that a few times as a kid, but now I can't remember that too much. How it ends.
Either. So okay.
But I guess Ghost, I always thought was like, oh, maybe he gets a chance at the end to come back.
What about Pretty Woman? You like Pretty Woman?
I do. I think it's pretty okay. It's like the movie
I like that movie.
It's a movie we watched when I go to my grandma on my dad's side. We go to their house. They had like really no selection other than like sports, football, funny bloopers movie, and then Pretty Woman.
Also pretty hot.
There was Pretty Woman we had to choose from, and like 1988 sports bloopers. That was,
yeah, those are the worst. Those are the worst videos.
And we just kept choosing Pretty Woman. It was a better choice.
I remember, I was told to watch some Pretty Woman, and it came out so like 93, 94, like all the girls loved it, so I was forced to watch it. But I didn't mind it. I didn't mind Pretty Woman. It's a good movie.
I think it's okay. Like, it's not like
if it was on, I'd probably watch it. I'd probably be like, I'll watch this movie.
I really like that empowerment scene where she's like, look at all this stuff I bought. You work on commission? Big mistake, you know? I felt proud for her in that moment. I was like, way to go, girl.
I like more the part where he takes her back. Mm-hmm. And
because she's embarrassed.
He's like, more sucking up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you are obviously a very powerful man. The guy just starts saying the most random shit to him, and he's like, not to me, to her.
Oh yeah.
And I found that funny because the guy just
they're kind of
such
ignoring,
an ass kisser.
Oh, because they're ignoring her while she's dressed and stuff. Originally.
No, this is after she tells him.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. And oh no, yeah, he took her to the other store, and then that's when it was. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good like romantic comedy, and it's like if you also it's a good movie. If you broke it down to the average, it's the average. The idea is kind of like weird in the sense.
Hooker with a heart of gold.
Well, like if you broke that down to your grandma,
and they set it up. Was it her first night?
Yeah, she was.
Wasn't it like her new? Like that was her first.
I think she
job?
was like on hard times, and she would move to that New York, right? And
but she hadn't been hooking.
She was kind of she was getting into the business. I guess.
I can't remember this. Does anybody know? Like it's.
I don't know.
Was she already a hooker?
I don't know. I guess as soon as you've hooked, you're hooked. She was a hooker.
No, but then she didn't really. She just met him.
Right.
And then they got together and stayed together. So realistically,
I just think
that's not too bad.
No, I just mean like if you just told your grandma that story without her watching, the movie really pushes the story without making it like stuck on those sort of things, like the hook being a hooker.
No, they gloss over it
because it's like if you just
it's not about being a hooker, and that's not why he did it. Yeah,
if you just told someone that story, like that idea of that, the brief synopsis of that. It would sound like a crazier movie or like Dirty or Grosser. Like it would sound like a 1970s
they did a good
job. Taxi driver kind of movie or something. Like it would sound gritty, but then it comes across as a really smart, well-written comedy that's like not really about that and really in the end. But people focus on the prostitution part, right?
Here's another movie. How do you feel about A League of Their
Own? I don't really remember watching it too much. Gina Davis, Madonna.
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it, like the Tom Hanks, the No Crying in Baseball, and
he was
I remember I was watching something, and
he was
it
a
was
big star.
I was watching some scene from it randomly on Instagram when they're milking a cow, and like Gina Davis, like I think is really good at baseball. And
all right, so you're not familiar with that movie. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I saw the movie multiple times at the movie theater. Given I'm pretty sure it was a week time period of movies when that came out, so I think it was like the friends want to go to the movies and you something to watch, so you see that over and over. And I assume you like Jurassic Park. Yeah. I'm just going back to that era for
I have some of those on VHS.
I was actually thinking about softer movies like you. Oh, and by the way, so I know a guy. His son's name is Dalton. And I was like, and his son's 22, and I'm like, that's an interesting name. He's like, yeah, it's from the movie Roadhouse. I'm like, I knew it. I'm like, I fucking knew it. Yeah. The guy named his son after the character.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
I mean, my son's going to be called the Dirty Deuce. Or the second kid's the Dirty Deuce. I don't know. You're just called the Dirty Deuce. You don't have a real name. Sorry. Is it called a Dirty Deuce? Or the Deuce something, right? I'm kind of lost now.
Dirty Sanchez.
Dirty Sanchez. You're named after this sex position I performed. There you go.
Hey, go get your brother Cleveland Steamer.
Yeah. And you're called Gangbang. We don't know who you belong to, but you're mine. It's okay. Sorry, kids. I'm sorry. Future.
Ladies, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Be careful.
But, that was, I mean, like, I don't know. A pretty good evening, I would say.
If you're looking for an evening and you don't know where to spend it, you could spend it right here.
Come hop on the casting couch, or what do we call this?
Well, no, not the casting couch.
The comfy couch. The comfy couch.
I mean, you could sit on the couch with Kirk.
Yeah, I got room
I probably won't be here.
Murray's in more of a chair and part of a couch on the other side, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you think about it, I think it went well. I mean, we changed up our situation for this because, as you can tell, we're one short tonight.
Yeah. And Khalid couldn't be here, unfortunately, our intern. So
yeah. So we're one short tonight.
Of course, we mean our founder and sponsor. And our current source of inspiration, Kevin Hamoki.
Of course.
He wasn't able to join us, and
he was. The plan was he was gonna be able to join us, and he had some car trouble. You know that Mustang that he likes to tell us that he has. Apparently, she's sick, and
because that Mustang is actually an e-bike.
No, it's a Mustang, but it's in the shop apparently, and he's working on it. It's getting fixed, so it's back on the road shortly. So making it down. He's we all know from the previous podcast how he feels about transit. So not the biggest fan anymore. And on the flip side though, we were like, okay, it's actually a nice day. Bring your Harley.
He also owns a motorcycle.
He has a Harley Davidson.
So if you watch,
which is also a nice motorcycle.
If you watch this podcast at all or listen to him talk, you're probably wowed at this double ownership of things. You're probably like, really, that guy?
So Kevin has a Harley, and I'm like, well, ride it over. Like, let's go, man. I'll meet you over. And I'm not quite sure what he was telling me, but something about the Harley doesn't have any lights. So you can't drive it at night.
I think he was using those bike lights you clip onto your bicycle, and they wouldn't allow him to use that with a motorcycle.
Ring, ring,
ring.
So it's kind of like a last minute thing, but we already had a plan to do something. So we decided we were gonna do it. So we changed up our atmosphere because it's a change of pace, and Kevin's not part of it tonight. We changed our comfort level. We decided to be comfortable.
Yes,
and
we indulged.
And if you like the new scene,
yeah.
If you like Evenings.
I'm gonna try to
or
put something right here that
evening?
says evenings and like
Evening,
neon
the
right there.
evening with Kirk and Murray.
Yeah.
Let us know if anybody watches this.
Should this be a spinoff?
Is this
the
good
Is this the-
terminology?
is this the end?
This a spin-off?
Is this the end of Kevin Homogi? Yeah. No. it won't
Tune
be.
in next week
Find out.
when our Cape Crusaders. No, it's that's still going. This is just a little different. This is just a little intimate evening with Kirk and Murray. And if you like this setup, if you like us, if you like this thing, let us know. Kevin likes to say,
Come crush a beer with us sometimes.
like, subscribe, whatever. Let us know. Maybe we talked about something that you care about.
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't. If we didn't, let us know what we should talk about. If we did and you disagree or you agree, you should let us know.
Yeah.
Be passionate about your life.
Yeah.
Because we sure as shit aren't.
Yeah, don't just take this podcast in your ear and just be agreeable.
And
Let us know.
Is that it?
I'm gonna say, good night. And have a good evening.
Good evening.